Hello, in a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a double Qwilfish team here again, the one that I already showcased in the Great League. Now we have it in the Ultra League because they all kind of grew up here. We have the XL Hisuian Qwilfish on our team, which has access to the Poison Jab, the Awkward Tail, and the Shadow Ball. We have basically the same Pokemon in the back again with the Overqwil, and we also have the Trevenant in the lead there, which it's kind of funny because the entire team has access to Shadow Ball. I guess Shadow Ball is such a good move here. You don't really want to run Dark Pulse with this Pokemon because Shadow Ball is just hitting some stuff a little bit better, like fighting types especially, and you're kind of weak to, I mean, you're not really weak to fighting types. The fighting type you're weak to, which is the Scrafty, the backline cannot really deal with anyway, so it's kind of tricky. Maybe I should have tried to put some poison type charge moves on that thing as well, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm really fine with the Shadow Ball here as we win the first match. As we see the next opponent having the Malama in the lead, we can go straight to the Overqwil. Building an Overqwil as an XL version is kind of overkill in this kind of regard, as you already have the Overqwil, which is basically a better version than this, has a little bit better stats product than the Hisuian Qwilfish here as an XL version. And is only really needed like when you want to use both at the same time and you don't want to use Drapion, even though Drapion is just most likely better because of the extra bulk, the access to crunch. Yeah, it's most likely just a little bit better, but at least we have access to the poison jab here, as we can farm down this opponent there, but they go back into their Malama now against our Overqwil. We're gonna shield this superpower up because it's gonna be the strongest move that can hit us here, as we go ahead, go for the Shadow Ball and buy a Malama, especially after the debuff. This was an easy knockout, as we see the green coming back in here. They can go for the body slam. We should be able to still survive 2 body slams here from my opponent, as we can go ahead, go for the Awkward Tail, which is gonna do next to no damage because this thing is really bulky, but we can throw in our Trevenant onto this body slam, and this does of course not a lot of damage. They can go for a crunch. I should have thrown earlier, but doesn't really matter because it still doesn't KO us. We can go for one seed bomb here, and my opponent already decided to surrender at this point. We didn't see it here, but they already surrendered prior. We have the next opponent. It's gonna be an amazing noob here, as we see the Kofek Rigas against us. A very cool ghost type, way bulkier than the Trevenant here. We also have a non-XL Trevenant here. I might build an XL version as well. I have like a rank 3 for Ultra League, which I might build, but right now I'm totally fine with my non-XL version so far. As we see a Scrafty coming in here. Against Scrafty we don't really have anything. Like, it's still okay-ish with our backline, but you kind of still need both of the Pokemon. The main reason here is that both of our Pokemon are a little bit squishier in the back, and they can just go for the power punches, and they can boost themselves up so much that we cannot really win this matchup whatsoever. Again, if we had like maybe a poison type charge move to spice it up a little bit, it might be a little bit better, but it still doesn't matter. We can still deal with the Scrafty with some teamwork here. As the seed bomb comes through, we're gonna try to catch the move, and we catch the move on the Overqwil. All of them are resisted. It's going to be a Dark Pulse, does basically nothing, as we see a Nidoqueen coming in here, and we can go straight for the Awkward Tail. I hope that they go for the Earth Power and we shield the Earth Power, because if they bait us, it's gonna be a little bit tough here. And we shield up and they go for the Earth Power here, which is going to be amazing, as we can now go for 2 more Awkward Tails, putting them into range where we can farm them down with the Trevenant later on, and we can most likely win this game here. As we go for another move, they are CMP tying here, which is good for us, as this is going to KO us. It's the Earth Power again. We can farm up extra, we can go for one Shadow Ball here, and we win this game very, very easily, thanks to the Overqwil being so spammy with the Awkward Tails. It's actually a really nice Pokemon to play in this kind of meta. I went actually crazy positive. I went every single set I played with this team I went positive with, which is kind of nice, which is something that I didn't expect. I really thought like this was more of a spicier pick, or like a little bit more of a meme team, but actually I went positive in every single set I played with this team. We see a Genesect here, which is kind of interesting. Again, this is, I think, the new Genesect, the ice version. Very good Pokemon in this meta. I'm gonna shield this move up. They're gonna go for the Magnet Bomb. They don't run the X-Scissor like in our video, as we see here the opponent going for one Technoblast again. Yeah, it looks like the ice version. It does so much damage, and I make a crucial mistake here in this matchup, I think, as I go for this normal charge move, but I do make a crucial mistake here with my Trevenant. I decided to go for the Seed Bomb instead of the Shadow Ball for whatever reason. This doesn't KO. It gives me more farm, of course, with my Overqwil in the back, but also gives more damage onto my Overqwil, so I'm not sure how this is gonna turn out. Maybe I shouldn't have done this, at least I got some extra energy here. As my opponent gonna reveal that they're gonna have the Tapu Fini in the back, we can go ahead, go for one Shadow Ball here. Do they know our accounts? Do they catch the next move as well? They do. And if they didn't catch here, we would have won this game. If I threw my Shadow Ball with my Trevenant, we would have won this game. But we are not going to win this game here, because the Moonblast is going to be enough. Very, very well played by my opponent, but also misplayed by me, so it's more on my fault, to be honest, in this version. As we see a Charmander coming in here, our Qwilfish is ready. We can go ahead and shield one time up here. We can get some extra nice energy, and we can go for some Awkward Tails here. And does my opponent know that we're so spammy? They do not know, because they're gonna shield it up here, and there is no way in hell they're gonna win this matchup. And they're gonna realize it now as well, going to let this move go through. Even if they go back into the Registeel, it doesn't really matter. They go into the Swamp, but we can still get to one big Shadow Ball here. So let's see how much it does. It does more than half of this health. We can let this move go through, but still the Registeel going to be a problem. They go for the Earthquake here. Shadow Ball comes through now against this Registeel. Let's see how much it's gonna do. It's going to do no damage, because they're going to shield this move up here, and it's going to be a little bit tricky now to still win this game. We still have our Overqwil in the back, but like it's kind of tough to get to the moves here. We go for one Shadow Ball. It does a little bit more than half now. We have one move stored. We have to go straight into our Overqwil. We have to go for one more Shadow Ball, and we have to hope that we can somehow win this match here, as we can go for the Shadow Ball. They don't swap out yet. I can go ahead, do some nice damage with this. Do they swap into their Swamp? But no, they don't swap yet. They swap now. We can still get to one Awkward Tail, and the Overqwil is just overkilling my opponent here, KOing the Swampert as well, putting the Registeel into the deep red health. As we see the Focus Blast land, and we just farm him down. We could throw a move here, but I'm 100% sure that they couldn't get to a move anyway before I farmed him down. So this is fine. We see his Grafty coming in. This is a little bit of a problem here. We're going to try to catch the potential Flowl play from my opponent. We can't catch the Flowl play, as we can just go ahead, go into our Hisuian Qwilfish, and we can go ahead and go for some nice Awkward Tail spam here, as they power punch them up here, as we can go for another Awkward Tail. I think that also CMP type, and I'm not sure it was, as we can go ahead, go for another Awkward Tail. Do they shield this move up as well? Does it KO my opponent? They are not shielding this up, and it doesn't KO just barely, as we can go for one more Shadow Claw with our Trevenant. We see the Ninetales coming in here with Charm. It doesn't really matter, because they stayed in so much here. We are having a lot of energy against this against this Jellicent now, and here like the Shadow Ball is just coming in clutch, doing a ton of damage. And I can just let this move go through, because I either KO them with the next move. They cannot KO me unless they have Ice Beam, or I get the final shield and I can go into my Trevenant. Depending on what they want to do, they just gonna let this move go through, and Trevenant has 2 moves stored anyway now, so we can just go ahead, go for a first Seed Bomb, and they're gonna shield this up, and we can go for the next one, but my opponent decides to just surrender anyway, and we win this game pretty easily. Giratina against us. They have Shadow Claw, we have Shadow Claw. They get to the move after 6 turns, but they don't really go for it, and they're gonna throw a move against my little Qwilfish boy. As we see them going for another move, fine for me. We get the fast move through, we can just tank those moves. And do they want to swap out now? They do swap into a Sylveon, which is A-OK for me. Like, this is fine. As we go ahead and get to another Awkward Tail, do they shield this move up, or do they let this move go through? They're gonna let this move go through. I can farm it down with my Trevenant. What do they have in the back? What do they bring in now? They're gonna bring in the Giratina again. We're going to bait with our Seed Bomb here, because they know we have so much energy, and we can go for another Shadow Ball, but not before they can get to a move themselves. They go for the Dragon Claw, we go for the Shadow Ball. Do they shield this up? Do we get the final shield? We do get the final shield. We swap immediately into our Overqwil, get greeted by another Charmer here with the Ninetales, but this game is over at this point already. I can just go ahead, farm it down, go for an Awkward Tail here, get enough energy for another Shadow Ball, and completely sweep this game here against this double Charm team with my Overqwil. Going for a Shadow Ball now against this Giratina, and bye bye Giratina, this game is over. As we see the next opponent here, Trevenant against Deoxys defense, very good lead for us, but this doesn't have to mean a lot, because they go into a Walrein, and I don't really have a good Walrein answer with this team. We already didn't have a good Walrein answer before with this team, and yeah, like, it didn't really change in this kind of better here because they can just go ahead and go for Icicle Spear, and they already do that much damage with their fast move. It's going to be a tough one here. I go for the Shadow Ball. They're going to shield this up. They shield us now, but they're also going to have to go for an Earthquake here. They go for the Icicle Spear though, and I should be able to even just reach barely the final Shadow Ball against them. I'm going to shield this move up, and I just reach the Shadow Ball at the same time as they reach their charge move, going to get the basically the switch advantage again, which is nice. I can go into my Trevenant, they go for the Psycho Boost, a very smart play, and now depends all on what they have in the bag. It's going to be a Registeel here, and this looks very tough. I have to try to catch the move onto my Overqwil. We're gonna try to swap now, and you saw me clicking on it, but it was one turn too late. They go for the Zap Cannon, KO us here. And we have to go for the Shadow Ball and maybe farm them down. We can go for one Shadow Ball. There's still some hope left here. The Shadow Ball doesn't KO, but we might farm them down with the Poison Jab at this point of time. We will see the Zap Cannon comes through. We can farm down, but they can swap into Deoxys in time. And I don't even reach my Shadow Ball in time before they can get to one more Psycho Boost and win the game there. Good game to my opponent. Well played after losing the lead there. As we see a Galvantula here, Galvantula is neutral against our entire team. We can let the first move go through, and we can get a shield advantage here baiting with the Seed Bomb, but we just go straight for the Shadow Ball. Maybe they let this go, but they don't. And I'm just going to shield this up as well and swap out afterwards because we have so much pressure with the Poison Jab and the Awkward Tail on our Qwilfish that they go and decide to go into their Swampert. We go for one big Shadow Ball here, going to get them below half health. They go for a move here. If it's an Earthquake, it KOs us. It is an Earthquake, that's fine for me. I can go into my Trevenant, farm up extra, go for another Seed Bomb here, and let's see what they're gonna do about this. They're gonna let this move go through. Our answer for the Overqwil is already gone with this. We see the Galvantula coming in here. I am going to go ahead and throw the Shadow Ball. They shield up as well. Maybe I should have let this move go through here. Actually, in hindsight, it was kind of stupid shield, as I can now go into my Overqwil. We see a Tapu Fini coming in. This is looking pretty decent, as we can go for one more Shadow Ball here. Boom, as we get them very low. They can still get to a move. This is a Moonblast or not. It is a Moonblast. And we can farm down with the Trevenant. We can still get to one Seed Bomb, winning us the game here. Good game. A very good game in general, like close one. As we see the next opponent, we're gonna have the Trevenant against the Swampert in the lead. Very good lead for us, of course. Let's see what they swap into. It's Scrafty, which we don't really have an answer, so therefore the lead was kinda unnecessary, but at least we get some damage on this, and we can throw in our Overqwil. It literally doesn't matter which Pokemon he uses, by the way. He has a Say Swap in this team because both of them are basically the exact same Pokemon. So yeah, Power Punch comes through. We can go for some more Awkward Tails here. Let's see what they're gonna do about this. They're gonna let this move go through, and we can go for another one. Do they don't let this move go through as well? They do, and now we see most likely the Swampert coming back, and now we see the Talonflame. Overqwil doesn't care about it. We can just go for another Awkward Tail here, get the shield from the opponent, go into our little Qwilfish boy, and go for another Awkward Tail here. They even throw the next move. They didn't even throw the charge move yet. I can just let this move go through. It's going to be the Brave Bird KOing us. It's fine for me, as we see the Swampert coming in. I still have two shields. I can go for one Seed Bump here against the Swampert, KOing this Pokemon and farm down this Talonflame in time. There's nothing that they can do anymore. This is going to be a good game to the opponent, as they are getting farmed down by my little tree here. Next up, we're going to get the Talonflame lead again. Very horrible lead there, as we can go into our Qwilfish. They swap into their Scrafty, and I don't know how I didn't get my Awkward Tail onto the Talonflame there, but that's the game, I guess. I lost one turn then on the switch, which is kind of awkward because now the Talonflame has so much energy, and yeah, it's basically unwinnable. I think they're really tricky to win, as they can just sweep my backline. I think if they have still all the shields, which my opponent definitely gives up here. They are not shielding anything. They're going for more Power Punches, and I can farm this thing down. But it's looking tough here as they go back into their Talonflame, which is amazing for me, as now I don't have to face it with my little tree in the back there. They are very close to another Flame Charge after this one, so we can go ahead and try to farm down a little bit more. as we see them swapping into their Jellicent. And I was super late on the swap here, which was really annoying because this kind of decided the match. I think if I got more damage here from the Shadow Claw, I would be able to definitely do more with this matchup as well. We need to go for one Shadow Ball. The Shadow Ball doesn't KO yet. And I think if I swapped faster into my Trevenant, I would have been actually fine because I could have maybe farmed this thing down here at this point. And I would have been able to definitely get to another move against the Talonflame. I think the Talonflame was close enough that one Awkward Tail would have KO'd him. So I kind of misplayed this one, but let's go into the final game. Very good lead for us, but we see a Talonflame coming in. I just go straight for the Shadow Ball here. It's fine, as we can now farm this thing down with our Qwilfish. They definitely gonna go for one Brave Bird here. There's no way that they're not gonna do this, and they go for it. And we can go ahead, go for one Shadow Ball against this Swampert. We're actually gonna go for the Awkward Tail here. Actually interesting, as we might be able to get to the Shadow Ball now in time. Does this KO the opponent? We have to see. It does not KO the opponent, but it's fine because we can just farm this thing down. We have only one Pokemon left, which is going to be the Walrein. This looks like a loss, to be honest. Like, I don't know how we're gonna win this. They just have to go for 2 Earthquakes here. They have an energy advantage. I have to basically bait them there, and even then I don't think I can win. They go for 1 Earthquake. Fine for them. I just gonna go for the bait. They're definitely gonna shield us anyway. Alright. Wrong. They let this move go through. I don't know if they forgot that they have a shield, but I just have to go for a Shadow Ball, and there is no way we're gonna win this game. Wrong again, because they just let this move go through for whatever reason. Is going to be it for the video. Thanks all for watching. See you in the next video in a few hours later with the normal Qwilfish.